test to the fight that this team has.
Yeah, I mean, like Bloomy always says, especially with our offense, we're never out of the game. And so, I mean, early it was definitely not a pretty game. We definitely, as a defense, weren't locked in. Huge prop to Curtis. I feel like he's not getting as much credit as he is because Curtis pitched his ass off. I mean, we just didn't do our job behind him. I mean, he, in reality, should only gave up maybe 1 or 2 runs, but at the end of the day, we know what we can do as an offense and as a team as a whole, and so even if we do get into those holes, we're not going to back down from any situation.
On the offensive side, it really comes down to just always trusting each other, just being able to pass the torch, because there's 1 to 9, our lineup is stacked, and we're just always going to produce those runs. So it's probably a good feeling as a pitcher to have that every game, just us being able to come back, even if it starts off not as they wanted to, just being able to come back like we did.
You probably haven't had time to really process it, but what is this feeling like for you right now? Isaiah, you kind of started the year a little slower than you'd like to, stayed in the lineup, kind of paid your dues, and now you have a night like this, 2 homers and however many RBIs it was, but at least 4 important ones.
Yeah. I mean, with that at bat, I was just like, that's every childhood kid's dream. Like, you're down or tied in the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs. Like, I blacked out. Like, I didn't know what was happening. I mean, somebody told me it was a slider that I hit, and remember that. There's a lot going on. It's a great feeling.
In terms of, just the adjustments you've made at the plate to put yourself in a position like this where you're as dangerous as you have been over the last several weeks, do you have that confidence every time you step in where it's like, regardless of who's on the hill, whatever the case may be, you kind of have this idea like, I'm going to do damage? Yeah,
that was something I struggled with a little bit, like in the beginning of the year, just because I felt like in the fall I just had a lot of confidence because the results were there. And then when I came into the season, I was struggling a little bit early, and it was tough for me because I wasn't getting those results to just keep that confidence. And one day I had a rough day, and I was like, you know what, let's flip the page, like act like I just went 4 for 4, a couple doubles. Like, I just needed to come in confident. It's really helped me. A lot of guys around me have been picking me up, and, letting me know that I'm good enough to be here, and it's really helped boost my confidence.
Looked like the second to last pitcher, the one that you got most of the hits off of, Ferrer, was kind of under your skin the first inning or so that he threw. You came into the 9th, he gets 2 quick outs. How does that mentality change? How do you stay focused on, okay, we can still win this, we can still get the run?
Just passing the torch one batter at a time. I mean, I think the biggest thing is in a situation like that, you can't try to want to end it yourself. You just got to kind of let it happen. And so, I mean, for me personally, I knew that they weren't going to give me an opportunity to do something. They were going to sort of pitch around me. And so I just had to stay within myself and not try to get myself out because I figured that was their plan. And so just biggest thing is not trying to get too big in the moment and just be a team guy at the end of the day.
Isaiah, did you think you were going to end it yourself, or were you hoping that it was going to come to you?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of funny. When that inning came in, I wasn't sure that I was even able to come up. Like, it was either going to be a walk-off or 3 outs. And then before the leadoff hitter got up, I was like kind of counting down the lineup, and I was like, oh shoot, I have a chance. Like, if we have 2 outs and there's bases loaded, and just kind of running through that scenario in my head, came true. So.
Blake, can you take us through your mindset coming in that 8th inning, and then further from that, you and Owen have kind of become a really solid back in the bullpen. What's gone into that?
I think it's just goes a lot with these guys being a little swing late in the games. Just got to give our team a chance to win and let them hit. So just going out there doing our job, and for me personally, passing it to Owen for the 9th is the 8th, whatever it is. It's been really huge just knowing I have someone to pass it on to, and these guys put up some crooked numbers late in the game.
And your mindset when you're coming in from bullpen in that 8th inning?
Yeah, it's just...
Or 7th inning, sorry.
Yeah, fill up the zone, try and get out of there, minimize the damage that bases loaded when I came in. So just really attack the strike zone and hopefully something happens.
How much more comfortable are you kind of in those tight late game situations compared to last year?
Yeah, a lot. I know a lot more work has gone into me on the pitching side this year, and it's just kind of built my confidence. just knowing that I have put in all that work earlier in the year and back to the fall.
When you guys face adversity like this against a marquee team like that, do you feel like it draws you at all like any closer, just as a team having to go through situations like this that were kind of few and far between earlier in the year?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like it's like a well-known quote, and it gets said a lot. So, but it's completely true of the hard times show who really the toughest people are. And so, I mean, obviously we've been through it, and I think it really shows that even though we're a newer team, we don't have a lot of time together. We've been through a lot of hard times and difficult times, and we've learned, and that's helped us learn a lot about each other and bring us a lot closer and be able to trust each other in those situations, whether it's Piv coming in bases loaded with 1 out or Isaiah with the bases loaded 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. I mean, I have full confidence in every single player on this team.
Jacob, you alluded to.
I was just going to say, I feel like a lot was with that is a lot of the new faces that came in early in the year, and the guys like them too coming back, they're just real welcoming, and I feel like when everybody's seeing new faces and kind of having to adjust to that, it kind of brought everybody closer and getting comfortable with everybody, so I feel like that went along with what you had to say.
Jacob, you touched on the hard times part, assuming last year was a part of it for both you and Blake. What has been the spirit change from last year to this year?
I mean, a huge part of it obviously is winning. It's really easy to be a good team and continue to be a good team when you're winning, but I feel like Coach Bloomquist did a really good job at bringing in much needed talent in places that we were lacking on last year, and then also just, I would say, making it tough on us, because just like this tonight, I mean, these are hard situations, and if we don't go through stuff like that, whether it's conditioning or workouts or just even practice for us in the fall or even early in the spring, then we'll never be prepared for a situation like this. So, I mean, it's just everything that went into preparing for the season. It's just made it so much easier.
And how do you think last year prepared you for games like this?
I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is it kind of just got us the mentality of not focusing on one thing, because obviously we had a lot of tough games last year. I mean, losing close games, getting blown out, whether it's losing close games, getting blown out, anything like that. So I feel like it really helped me personally, just kind of getting more set on the mindset of turn the page, whether I have a bad at-bat or a bad game, or we all have a bad game. It's a lot easier to just turn the page and know that there's a new day and another at-bat.
The errors as a whole, just 5+ errors tonight. Would you say that was more of miscommunication, or what would you attribute that to?
Focus. I mean, it was definitely us not paying attention to the little things, whether it wasn't being ready on a pitch or not paying attention to the wind. I know there was a drop pop-up, and I mean, obviously you guys saw the wind was howling tonight, and so on a pop-up like that, you got to know it's going to come back into the middle of the field, and so just definitely the little things which Bloomy preaches upon. And so, I mean, when things are going wrong, they become a lot more clear, and so luckily we got out of that one with a win, but definitely need to be a lot cleaner tomorrow.
You guys feeling a little more antsy coming into tomorrow, the meaningness of the series?
I mean, it's just the same as every day. I mean, we know we have to win it, but we know we have to win every single game at the end of the day.
You're at a point in the season where miscues, like, making 5 errors, it becomes that much costlier. It feels like what needs to happen to correct those very quickly and make sure that doesn't spiral things out of control?
I mean, personally for me, I just tried to personalize and pull everyone aside and just try to let them know that, 1, we can't be doing those type of things, especially this late in the year, and 2, I mean, that we can't be doing that type of things because of how good we are. That's the second one. Like, I think the big thing, I know Luke had a little bit of a rough night, but I just had to keep telling him, like, he is really good at what he does. I mean, I don't know numbers, but I can't imagine there's many freshmen in a Power 5 conference starting at shortstop in the whole nation. And so, I mean, he has to realize he's really good and just keep trusting his abilities.
Blake, another question about and you guys seem to have pretty similar stuff on the surface, both like hard-throwing right-handers, but you offer pretty good contrast. What about kind of your duality makes you guys really effective?
I mean, I think we both have similar mentalities of coming in late in the game. I think that's the biggest thing. At the end of the day, you're gonna get out with your mentality and going out there and being aggressive with the zone, load our stuff, and do the rest of the work.
Isaiah, you think you got that? I know you thought you got a walk-off homer a couple weeks ago, and this one looked like a little bit more of a sure thing?
Yeah, I mean, the one last time, it was just a situation where it was either walk-off grand slam or a sac fly to tie it up, and either way I was going to be hyped, so why not get a little hype for that one. This one I definitely knew. This one I definitely knew was getting out, so got to celebrate on.